Hey y'all, good morning. This is my review for Married to Medicine, season 11, part 1 reunion. Um, why was this 3 parts? I don't think this was necessary. I don't think that much went on during the season. Why is Jackie and Simone first chairs when nothing happened with them? Like Jackie's storyline is literally just being there. And then Simone's was her lazy children. I'm just saying. It's no shade, but that's basically what was the gist of her story outside of the group. So yeah, to be honest, Sweet Tea and Quad should be closest to Andy. But I don't know, for some reason, this particular franchise, like the rule is, I guess Jackie and Simone have to have first chair. Like, is it in their contract? I didn't get it. Look, you know, just because of the platform, and it just is what it is. I was just calling a spade a spade. Yeah, the doctors must have it in their contracts. I'm a man. I'm a man. Thank you. Thank you. I might as well do it. I'm trying to eat up some time like they did with this goddamn reunion. Sweet Tea did YouTube video before the reunion where she was talking about Toya. Yes. Cecil is lazy too. Oh man. Okay, y'all. So before I get into this review of this part 1 reunion, I do have a video after this because we heard this morning like Garcelle drop a bomb that she will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I have so many thoughts about that, and I definitely want to hear people sound off. Now, yes, of course, I'm happy for Garcelle, but we got to be real too. We got to be real too and talk about everything in the spectrum of her leaving. Of course, my friend wants to try and call me now as I'm on right now. Anyway, but yes, please join me at noon for that conversation. So yeah, anywho, let's see, where was I? So we start the well, we don't start the reunion yet. Anywho, we see behind the scenes of the ladies getting ready. We found out that T went on social media and made some allegations before filming day. And, of course, we know that Phaedra is a no-show. So then, for the second year in a row, the reunion theme is given Easter Sunday. But the actual theme is supposed to be Bridgerton. Now, Andy greets the cast. Contessa, I think, was bumped up to main cast, and it looks like she'll be with them on the couch the entire time. Good for her. Oh, thank you. It's brand new. So they address the elephant in the room immediately that Phaedra isn't there. Andy then plays them a never before seen footage from Phaedra's confessionals where she calls the ladies trash, those bitches, demonic, hateful, and she doesn't want to be around them. Now, this coming from Phaedra, I mean, you can take that with a grain of salt. I mean, I would be laughing. But I will say, I think all those adjectives are true for Heavenly. The other women, not so much. Speaking of Heavenly, she's still defending herself for inviting Apollo, but keeps leaving out why did she invite him in the first place? Like, why was it a secret to everyone else if you were just inviting them? Like, you brought him on for messy reasons. You don't know this man. He's not your friend. Like, he's not I'm about to call her husband Greg. He's not Damon's friend. Like, you did that so you can play production. So I don't understand why the cast keeps trying to throw it on Phaedra. Yes, it does not matter to me that Phaedra brought check there. Like, Dr. Heavenly doesn't know Apollo, who recently, has been accused of abusing his wife. And look, also, I thought it was sus that the women had more heat for Phaedra than Apollo about, after hearing that article. It just said a lot. And then Quad giving her opinion about Apollo and his current situation and using that to shade Sweet Tea was diabolical. That's what I think. Right, exactly. He had no place on the show. And I get it. Like, we don't like Phaedra, but the thing is, she can bring who she wants on the show. But why are you talking to her ex-husband? And then who he brought his well, I guess his estranged wife on the show. It doesn't matter. And she didn't say production told her to invite him. She called her and told her directly, like, hey, I'm inviting Apollo. Like, I don't care if Phaedra agreed to it. Like, why did you, Heavenly, want to do that? But anyway, we can move on. We then have an unserious moment of Simone mocking Phaedra, and then they move on. The next reel is dedicated to Quad's return to the show. First round of questioning focuses on Quad and Simone's beef going back to Napa. As they're discussing it, they're now opening old wounds and start arguing again. And I'm just like, y'all, I'm tired of, like, just everyone needs to get over Napa. I don't want to hear the word Napa on this show at all. Like, Simone, she's getting loud already. Like, she's like, Quad, you've been giving your sorry. Quad, you've been giving your ass to kiss for years. For years. I can't be too loud. It's still like 10:30 in the morning here, but Simone, she's already getting activated. Quad, you've been giving us your ass to kiss for years. Anyway, Quad is now in the middle of a soliloquy, and you know when she gets started, It was long-winded, and Andy is trying his best to just move it along. Now, you see the difference between this reunion and Potomac? Like, Andy definitely had more fun during the Potomac reunion. Anywho, I do agree with Quad, though, that why would she tell the ladies that she's dating someone when they aren't her friends? Like, they weren't her friends last season. I just think, they're all ganging up on Sweet Tea right now. But like I said, next season, guess who's going to be the target? If there's no new girl, it's going to be either the new girl, Mimi, in some form or fashion. They're going to come for her marriage, or, steamroll her like they did Sweet Tea. Or they're going to go back to their former whipping boy, Toya, who, remember, before Sweet Tea was on this show, she had 4 feuds at once. 4 feuds involving her on the other side of it. I think just people forget that. And then Quad, she's always just been like the outcast. Mimi, not Mimi from Love and Hip Hop, Mimi the psychiatrist, the one who came on as Sweet Tea's friend. Anyway, speaking of Sweet Tea, she's finally brought into the conversation 27 minutes into this part 1 of the reunion. And she's being asked what she meant when she said Quad is jealous. T says she meant that there's no reason for Quad to dislike her or shade her when they have never even had a conversation. Quad then starts to patronize her like she usually does, because she doesn't take Sweet Tea seriously. Like, in her mind, we're just going to call it 100. She thinks Sweet Tea is ugly. She thinks she's stupid. She thinks she's better than Sweet Tea in any form or fashion. So yeah, that's why she was always mean to Sweet Tea in the first place. She can't believe, like, oh, he went to her. Like, oh yeah, I'm definitely doing better. I don't know. Like, I just think, this is my personal opinion, that Quad never should have, like, even had this type of energy for Sweet Tea. If she wants your trash and your leftovers, isn't that the phrase? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Go ahead. Anywho, I just don't think that, like, well, Greg, I get why Quad, has smoke for him. But I just think she never respected T. And, she always treated T like she stole her man or something, like she's the mistress. So if you are just joining, I said in the beginning of this video that um, breaking news, Garcelle is no longer on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She announced her exit. I have a separate video coming on at noon so we can talk about it. So yeah, I know, I'm aware. Uh Quad is all right. She is not all that. It's hard to feel bad for Sweet Tea. She came on the show to spike Quad. I don't think so. Like she she showed interest in the show. Of course, she watched the show. Of course, she did. I don't care if new cast members have seen the show before they've gone on it. That doesn't make them a fan. What makes you a fan is how you act on the show once you're on it. Once you're on it. But yeah, she definitely wasn't equipped to be on this show. And I think she just had ample time to prepare herself for this reunion. And just from her, no, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I was just reminding you and anybody else who came in the room. But yeah, like, I just feel like she just didn't come prepared because she should have known that she was going to be a target soon as. I don't like how these women keep on calling her country. They are from Tennessee, Memphis, and Florida, their damn selves. Right, they look down on her just because she has like an accent and she's younger. It just really annoys me. When it comes to Married to Medicine, we're twins. Child, I agree with you 100%. Well, I appreciate it. I disagree. She and Greg definitely came on this show along with cheering from the other women to spike Quad. Look, so it's hard for me to believe that because, Heavenly and the other cast members pushed her on to be on the show and they embraced her. And at the time, their relationships with Quad was not great at all. So everybody on that couch should be responsible. Like they welcomed back like her ex-husband as if, this was like what's the word I want to use? Like an amicable split. It was not. Like there's allegations of abuse from her. So for them to not like her that much to invite them back on the show, like they could have all stood 10 toes down. No, we think this is a bad idea. No, they welcome this. So I put it on the cast. Like everyone is at fault here. Like I don't like how people keep putting this on Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea, this is an opportunity for her. From what I remember, like she was just talking from her experience. Like Quad also tried to, act like she was fine with it, but she wasn't. Like she felt some way because she was single at the time, but she tried to act like she was fine with it, but she wasn't. Like why? Still, I don't understand why she went to that not baby shower, why she went to her bachelorette party. Anywho, now T, unfortunately, as her and Quad are going back and forth, she doesn't know how to argue. Stop saying that Quad is jealous of you. She is not jealous of you. She doesn't want anything that you have. Focus on the fact that she's a hypocrite and that she's fake and that she's not healed. Like she's not jealous of you. Like stop saying that. Like she could have really got Quad together as well as some of the other ladies, but she doesn't know how to argue. So that's why I keep saying she did not come to this reunion prepared like she should have been. Like on episode 3, how they were treating her, I guess at their little rodeo town or something like that. Like, I'm like, girl, watch this, analyze everything that's being said, and come prepared. You had weeks. Like what, this 15 weeks? So yeah, Sweet Tea, I like you, but I gotta hold your feet to the fire too. Like there was so much of Quad that you could have got together. Like say you belong on this platform more than her. You are married to medicine. She is not. See, like, I'm frustrated because I care. I'm passionate. But yeah, that's why I think she just needs to leave the show. You had 2 chances. So then also her reads weren't landing, and it was just cringe to watch, y'all. Like I don't know. Like, stop saying like, "Oh, I'm your storyline" or whatever. Like, read her at the parts where she's insecure. Anyway, moving on, Quad reveals that she has started IVF with the help of Dr. Jackie. Didn't know this, so this is breaking news, something new on, that we're hearing at the reunion. And she might be pregnant soon. Like, if Quad gets pregnant, they will absolutely keep her on the show. And look, maybe they will. So then the next reel is dedicated to Toya, and basically how she calls out the group. That was her storyline for the entire season. Man, you know what? I get it. Toya has had a nice 2-season break of, like, remember that video of that girl, like, just she's getting jumped and she just mollywhopping everybody. Like, that was Toya for a few seasons. So I get it. Fine. You deserve this little break, but look, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready when Sweet Tea resigns or gets booted from the show. So then Andy asks her some shady questions to see if she'll be honest, like real fluff shit. Heavenly shades Simone because her dress is a hot mess. I don't know who Simone's friends are or what gays she have in her corner. Or maybe she don't have any gays in her corner, because I know as a gay that I just couldn't have let my friend or anyone that I love out in that dress that she has on. I don't know who did that. Her husband clearly sabotaged her. Her glam team sabotaged her. Toya is then asked about how she treats Eugene, and then, this is old news. We're at season 11. That is what works for them. He loves her more than she loves him, and they are fine with this. Like, he loves that woman. Like, fine. Like, there's no question here. Yes, I really wish somebody would have called that out too. Girl, you got a dog collar on. You worry about your dress and what you look like. Let's just see how Quad moves forward. I don't care for Sweet Tea, but the IVF talk was a little cruel to do with the camera panning to Tea every 2 seconds. I ain't even realized that, but yeah, I would agree. I don't know how Quad isn't pregnant. LOL. Caribbean men will be up in you all day and night, and that's just the truth. Well, maybe she has some pregnancy troubles too. Remember when Simone says she doesn't like to kiss her husband after he... We're going to move on from that because I definitely don't care. The Beverly Hillbilly comment. I thought that was a good read. That was a little bit, but Sweet Tea is still country, but I don't know. She could have framed that well. Country recognized country girl, and you just as country as me. You just a Beverly Hillbilly. Like, she gotta, like, I don't know. Like, she could have at least practiced in her mirror or something. Look, I wanted to interview the girl. Like, I was in her DM. She never responded back to me. Like, I needed to get, like, get my little pointer out for her and, like, like, consult with her over Zoom. Like, stop saying that Quad is jealous of you. Because if you put the two of y'all together, like, I'm sorry, it just is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, I love how y'all are so, like, enthused in the comment section. Y'all give me more comments on Married to Medicine than I think Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I really appreciate that. I can't read all the comments, but if you really want me to read your comment, put it in the super chat. Not Cadillac, Kimberly. So then Toya reveals that she is in another new house. This is, I think, the 7th or 8th house she's lived in, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. She said it was like 4. I'm like, no, nah. And speaking of homes, not Toya shading Sweet Tea, saying I didn't move into anybody else's house. T doesn't even know how to read because she could have ate Toya up. It is frustrating. Like, Sweet Tea. Like, girl, I know you ain't talking. You just began to afford a mortgage. Are you for real? Like, I don't have any liens on my house. Like, look, you just came out the gutter and you coming for me? Like, Sweet Tea. Like, yeah, it was so unnecessary. Like, I'm just like, damn. So then afterward, Toya then confronts Sweet Tea for her comments that she made online. I don't really follow Sweet Tea like that off the show, so I don't really know what she said specifically. They're going back and forth, and T again is talking about relevancy and moments. And I'm just like, girl, if you can't read Toya, the weakest link of the cast, then you need to make your exit stage left. Like I can't do nothing for my girl anymore. Like what Monique said to Steve Harvey. I can't remember the exact phrase, but it's just like there's nothing I can do for her now. T reveals that when she came on the show, Toya as well as Heavenly tried to pit her against Quad because they were beefing with her at the time. Toya denies this. Quad brings up the bachelorette party and said T made her leave. And I'm like, that's because you had no reason to be there. Like, why would you even be there? And was that y'all's first interaction? Like, y'all never even had a scene one-on-one together. I still don't think they've had a scene one-on-one together. They should have been had one to be like, you know what? We're not going to argue. What you have with my husband, my current husband, is between y'all. But if we're going to be in this setting together, in this group, I want to be cordial. So let's keep it cute. You know, like they didn't even have anything. Like Quad came to her bachelorette party smirking with that Cheshire Cat grin because she knew what she was doing. She was antagonizing her. But then Quad now is trying to spin this saying, well, I was trying to celebrate you. Bitch, what? Like, it's the gaslighting for me. And then T can't even make a case as to why this is bullshit. Like, I'm just like, I want to shake Sweet Tea through the TV. Like, girl. Anyway, yeah, Sweetie Tea was looking a bit unsweetened on that reunion. That was definitely an agenda for being Sweet Tea on the show. Exactly. There was an agenda. Yeah. So right now, Sweet Tea is getting steamrolled by like everybody. Like, and Quad and Heavenly, they're cracking jokes on the other side of the couch. Jackie is mute. She don't even care. Like, she don't like Sweet Tea anyway. And again, I think at this point, we need to have a serious discussion about Jackie's role on the show. Yes, I get it. Like, she is the most sought out OBGYN, Black OBGYN in the city of Atlanta. I guess that alone makes her worth being on Married to Medicine. But still, it's just Jackie needs to participate. If not, they need to like demote her to friend. Like, it's just not fair. And then we see Contessa, she's mute whilst T is getting steamrolled. Like, I think Contessa, she now has her position back on the show. So it is what it is. So then we see Simone shockingly go over to T. And like, I think it was just out of pity, y'all. And just give her a little mini pep talk. T has no one at this point because, like I said in my previous review, if Toya like turns on her, then she literally has no one. And it's cringe to watch. Like, the dead horse has been beaten to dust. Like, I'm tired of seeing the whipping boy getting whipped. Like I said in my last review, the season finale, it's like you see a little kid uh, being pushed around by like in a little circle of 3 or 4 different bigger kids. And then, the kid is standing up for himself. He's fighting back, but he's not winning. And it's just like you want to tell the big kids, just leave the kid alone and tell the little kid to just walk away, walk away. But yeah, it's just like, stop. Like, I don't want to see this anymore. So then they move on to Contessa's reel and her return to the show and her ongoing beef with Heavenly. I've enjoyed Contessa coming back. I love her presence on the show. I think her contribution to the cast and is great. She's like a Cynthia, I believe, but a Cynthia that gets a little bit more riled up. And I also like, the likelihood of her whipping Heavenly's ass was pretty high this season. So I'm just thinking, if we add her on another season and Heavenly's on as well, like maybe, just maybe, she'll be able to connect. Like she just needs an open hand slap to Heavenly's face. Just one slap, one bitch slap that she needs. I'm rooting for you, Contessa, to land one punch, just one. Again, we get the same back and forth involving Heavenly's like disrespecting Contessa's husband and that tired excuse that she says. Like, I agree with Contessa. Stop saying that. Stop saying that she shouldn't have talked about what was going on in her marriage to save face and protect her husband like you do. Like, her being real and honest about the problems in her marriage, and saying that it wasn't perfect led to them getting help, according to her. Like, we know nothing about Heavenly's marriage. I would love to know, like, how a bullfrog and a pug have cohabitated all this time. Oh, thank you, Baji BB. Beige BB. Anyway, the way they all behave, and I mean all of them, was disgusting. Prove Phaedra's point about them. It's almost as bad as being a member of a sorority. Thankfully, they don't try to pretend they're sisters. I agree. The problem was that Heavenly was monetizing Contessa and her private conversations week after week. Exactly. And she does not see that. She just keeps saying, like, well, you should have talked about your husband. Like, it's already out there, so I could talk about it. And I'm just like, well, y'all supposed to be friends. Like, why would you try to monetize off of your friend's honesty about how her marriage is? Child, Contessa and Jackie was quiet. They all need that Bravo check. It's extra income for the households. It's Quad's main source of income. So yeah, she's working for her yearly income. Look, Heavenly looks like a bullfrog and Damon looks like a pug. Google a pug. He looks just like Damon, especially with them damn teeth. And we're going to get on that later. Don't you worry. So then we're now talking about Heavenly's insult of, your mom, your mama, to which she, did deserve to get her ass whipped for. She refuses to apologize again because, according to her, she apologized already. Now, we're also talking about Contessa's insults about Heavenly, including the mixed babies comment. Now, according to Contessa, that's what the streets of Atlanta are saying. Andy being messy, asking the cast, has anyone else heard these rumors about Damon's infidelity? Simone speaks up, Toya speaks up, and then we're left on a cliffhanger, and that is the end of part 1. Now, here's my thought on that little, the streets is talking and the mixed babies thing. It's hard for me to believe because Damon is, one, an unattractive man. He's a chauvinist and has the personality of a head of lettuce. Like I can see him paying for puss, but him like being this like, how Heavenly used to be, get off my man, get off my man. I like talking to any woman that would like even shake his hand. I'm just like, girl, you have nothing to worry about. But then on the other hand, like I can kind of see that like, well, maybe there's just some desperate women out there. Like, I just really thought that Heavenly didn't have anything to worry about because, she's just as, I don't like to call people ugly. I mean, she's ugly in the inside, but I don't really like to come for her appearance all the time. So I really don't like calling people ugly. I swear I don't. So yeah, I'll let y'all do that. Anyway, this episode, I mean, it was mid. It was all right. I was more entertained by this reunion part one than the finale. So it does get higher points. Um, let's talk about Heavenly's post online. She posted after the reunion a zoomed in photo of Contessa's teeth. I thought that was diabolical. I will say though, before like I saw it before it was even coming, because look, I'm gonna just call it like I see it. I like Contessa, but that bottom row, it stood out. It stood out. I'm not sure why nobody told her, but you can definitely see it. You can definitely see the bottom row. Kind of like Billy Porter. Like I couldn't believe that Billy Porter had all this money and he was up there on stage. The whole bottom row of his teeth was fucked. Like go back and look at it. Google it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I thought that was kind of that was sinister on Heavenly's part. She called it biracial teeth. Yes, thank you for reminding me. But yeah, if I was Contessa, I would have been like, well, your husband's teeth. Since the thing is, Heavenly, her go-to is she can't really come for you. She'll come for your husband, your spouse, bring up the fact that you don't have a spouse if you're single, or bring up your mom. So she should have immediately brought up Damon's teeth because Damon's teeth looks like a pug's teeth. And I'm just like, how is your wife a dentist, but your teeth are fucked? So yeah, hopefully Contessa has a response to this. But yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, Nicolette says ain't nothing wrong with having regular teeth. I agree, but I will say when I saw it, I was like, oh, someone's gonna point this out after this episode because I noticed it. I noticed it. So yeah. Anywho, y'all. What else I wanted to say? Oh, yeah. So I give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. Pretty much a C minus. That's the score for me for this episode. Maybe in parts 2 and 3, I'll be more entertained. We'll find something new to give a fuck about. And also, I just want to explain again why I just thought Sweet Tea didn't come prepared. It was just hard to watch. Like the reads weren't landing. The worry about the purse stormy. Like worry about your plot line stormy. No, you came off real lame, love. You came out lame. And then Heavenly dropped some tea after the reunion. Someone tried to call her out, and then she retweeted them and said on top of that we begin filming next month. So it looks like maybe they'll have the same cast. Everybody got their papers to come back, but how does Heavenly keep getting away with spilling tea like that? Oh, well, we start filming next month. We'll see. We'll see. Other than that, y'all, I would love to know y'all thoughts on part 1. Again, for the people that just came in the room, I'll be back in an hour to talk about the breaking news today about Garcelle leaving the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I just need a break, drink some water. So yeah, with that, I will see y'all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for the next episode.